I first became aware of and got involved in Christians in Action back in 2013 when I went on a medical and dental mission trip to the Philippines. A lady that was mission director at our church asked me if I would be interested in doing something like that, and Christians in Action was the sponsoring agency in that trip. And so I went on the trip to the Philippines, a 2-week trip, and that was my initial involvement.
Very good. Talk a little bit about your role and your involvement with the ministry now.
I'm currently the board chairman. I became a member of the board, I believe, in about also 4 years ago, 2015, and after a couple of years was asked to join the executive board, and then 2 years ago I was asked to take over as chairman of the board, and that's what I'm involved in now.
Very good. How would you describe the vision or the mission or the heartbeat of the ministry?
The vision of Christians in Action is just to comply with the Great Commission, obey the Great Commission, and spread the gospel throughout the world to people that haven't heard the word, and to do that through the various ministries like medical and dental missions, church building, and those sorts of things.
How is the Lord using the ministry to share the gospel? Talk a little bit about evangelism.
My experience with Christians in Action and evangelism has been primarily during the two medical dental missions I went on, one through ARMS, which is Asian Medical Relief Services, and also a medical dental mission that I went on to Guatemala. And during those trips, we made evangelism a very focal point, and everybody that was on the mission trip had an opportunity to be involved in evangelism and to share their testimony with the people that were being served with medical and dental services. And that's my primary involvement so far with evangelism.
Very good. Talk about discipleship. How is the Lord using the ministry to make disciples?
The Christians in Action, first of all, recruits, trains up, and sends missionaries into the mission field into communities that haven't heard the gospel. And their goal there is to, number one, spread the gospel, and once the gospel has been spread, to plant churches, and within those churches to train and equip people to, if they're not involved in church planting, to share the gospel message with everyone that they come in contact with.
Very good. Talk about ways Christians can get involved and support ministries like Christian in Action.
In order to support Christians in Action, people can pray for our organization. That's very important. They can give to support financially the things that Christians in Action is trying to do, and they can go. They can go on short-term missions, as I've explained I've done in the past, or they can make a longer-term commitment to go into the mission field and stay for a period of time and share the gospel that way.
Talk about the importance of prayer support and spiritual warfare.
Prayer support is very important to all of our missionaries. They're in some very, very trying circumstances a good part of the time, depending on where they're deployed throughout the world. And it's very important for them to know that there are other people besides themselves that are petitioning the Lord for protection and support and comfort and those things that those missionary people need in the field. So prayer of any kind, to any extent, is very important, and it's something that we like to let the missionaries know the people are doing here for them in the States.
Very good. And financial support?
Financial support is clearly very important. The missionaries are responsible for raising their own support, and that's an ongoing chore for them. And we also have administrative a budget that we pray for support for, and there are also special projects like the arms and LARMS missions that I mentioned previously. So all of those things benefit when people give to our organization.
Very good. So why do you do what you do?
Well, I became involved because I know it's important to spread this message, and I knew that was the easiest way for me to do it would be to be involved in this organization. I started off, as I mentioned, on a mission trip to the Philippines. Shortly after that, I started through Tony Heredia's connection with the church in Vicente Guerrero in Baja California. We've made 4 trips down there to build a church and support that community down there. And subsequent to that, I went on, as I mentioned, a mission trip to Guatemala, and it's a wonderfully humbling experience to be out in the field like that for a short period of time and see how important the things that we're doing for the people there are. They have this vision of Americans as having these big, important lives, and they are just blown away that we would take the time away from our jobs and our families to go out and serve them. And I think that's an important part of the gospel message, and it's something that really hits home. It's something that goes right to the heart when a person experiences something like that. So that's one of the main reasons that I do it.
Very good. Revelations 12:11, they overcame the evil one by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. What does that mean to you?
Say it again, please.
Revelations 12:11, they overcame the evil one by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Talk about that.
Well, that's a reference to Jesus Christ dying on the cross and overcoming sin for us and taking our place, because it's something that we couldn't do. And so our job is to spread that message throughout the world as much as we possibly can. If we're obedient and we truly believe that Christ died for us, then it's something that we have to do. And Christians in Action is a good way to make us start at that.
Yeah. Is there anything else the Lord put on your heart to share with us today?
No, I can't think of anything.
Tell me how great the staff is.
The Christians in Action staff are wonderful. I don't have a long relationship with Brooke and Nancy, but I've grown to know David very, very well, and he's just done a fantastic job for us. We'd love to be able to give him more resources than he's had, but he's done a wonderful job with what he's got, what he's received, and we're looking forward to continuing to grow with his stewardship.